Welcome back to 5-Minute Drum Lessons, where we get it done in 5 minutes or less. On today's agenda, answering a question from Jeff. And Jeff, I gotta say, you asked a very good question, and you put me on the spot with it. And this video is associated with a video I made before about doing doubles on the snare drum in beats. Okay, so this type of thing, where you go one. And I gave 4 different ways to add cool doubles into your rock or funk or whatever style drumming. So we'll go through those quickly. And so 1 and 2 and 3 and 40 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 40 and then we did 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and just going through quickly. And then we did 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1. And then we did 1E and 2. We did 1E and 2 and 3E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Anyway, those are all in the other video, and this is what Jeff was referring to when he asked the question. But at the end of that video, I did a little improvisation. Well, I don't know why I did that. It was an improvisation based on those ideas. And so his question was, okay, I've learned those 4 patterns and I'm trying to improvise, but I can't quite make it the sound the same way that you did it at the end of the video. And I think that's a great question because you're forcing me to reveal some of my secrets. All right, so I'm gonna show you a couple of things I was doing, and for sure it's gonna help you get into that kind of mode that I was using, and hopefully it will give you a couple ideas, but then inspire you to come up with your own things and continue from there. So one thing is that video, I'm talking about those 4 ways of adding doubles. But when I did the improvisation, or if I'm incorporating those types of ideas into what I'm playing, I'm not only sticking to that. I'm using other things I know as well. So if we just look at a basic kind of funky style rhythm where we go, where we do that kind of, I'm sure you know how to play something like that. The little E's and U's in between your hi-hat notes. You can mix those in to the ideas as well, and even doing things like having 8th notes too. So you have your E's and your U's, you have your 8th notes. It doesn't always have to be super complicated, and I think when I'm kind of playing around, I'm mixing some kind of tricky little ideas in with things that are more straightforward and stuff that, you know, you learn earlier on but remains super useful and sounds good. So don't be afraid to mix in little E's and U's and ands even into what you're doing. Okay, now on to the good stuff. So one thing that, and these are in grooves, I forget exactly which grooves they are, but kind of classic funky, kind of James Brown style, Clyde Stubblefield type stuff. I think that's where I learned it. So one of the patterns was 1E and 2. So that pattern, 1E and 2, 1E and 2, and then you follow that immediately with the and pattern. So you have, here's the first pattern, 1E and 2, and then here's the second pattern, 1 and 2 and So you put them back to back, 1E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. but you don't have to do it over and over again. See, that's the beauty of it, is you can just use that as part of it and then just do something super basic and simple for the next part. Okay. So I'm just going 3 and 4 and as my second part. Okay, so that's a really nice one. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and Okay, so that's a good one that I'm sure I used in there. And what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, okay. So same lead in, so still 1 E and 2, but then coming out of the 2, that's where you do the 2 E. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So to play the two things I'm combining, the 1 is the same as before, 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and then the very first thing, 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and. You combine it, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. And then you can maybe add a little you start varying up the bass drum. I'm kind of using just 1 and 3 or trying to use straightforward bass drum patterns, but once you start varying the bass drum, you can start getting all kinds of cool stuff. So I hope that gives you a couple of ideas and things to get you going. And yeah, if you have more questions after that, feel free to ask. And it was a really great question, pushed me to give you more information and provide a little more in-depth information about what's actually going on there. So really great question. Thank you. Thanks for joining me. Hope you got something out of the video. See you on the next one.